59 One's trap. Marin slowly approached the command cabin, and everyone looked at him. He originally thought that he would be able to return in a few days, but from the captain's expression, things seemed to have changed. The Indian Navy attacked our freighter. The fleet's latest order requires us to quickly reach the middle of the Indian Ocean and get in touch with our destroyer formation in the Gulf of Aden. The command cabin was silent for a while. Captain, our hydrographic data in the Indian Ocean is very incomplete. This task of monitoring the Indian Navy seems to have some, said the navigator aside. For submarine sailing underwater, it is a big trouble. I think this is really interesting. We can use this to see if our usual training level is suitable for actual combat. Marin said. Okay, first go up to the depth of the periscope, release the antenna to receive the information reported by the sea area, and at the same time the navigation department will search for satellites to correct the accumulated errors of inertial navigation. Political Commissar, you find the information of the Indian Navy combat ships in the database, everyone. Let's get to know it first. What about the route? The time is tight, we must enter the Indian Ocean as soon as possible, and there is no time to detour from Indonesia. The only way is to go through the Strait of Malacca. I think there will be a way, just wait and see. However, the shallow water in the Strait of Malacca and the lack of a climatic layer are not conducive to the concealment of boats of our size, and India has a lot of listening equipment in the Andaman Sea. If we detour from northern Australia, the water there is deep. It would be more ideal, so that we can enter the Indian Ocean quietly. The political commissar said on the side, this is his concern. The underwater displacement of this attack submarine numbered 411 exceeds 6,000 tons, and it is indeed not easy to get from the average water depth to less than the 40-meter Malacca Strait passes through. If it is exposed as soon as it enters the Indian Ocean, the future actions will be very passive. Well, I think we should prepare both hands, first adjust the course to 190, and wait outside Jakarta. If there is a large merchant ship or oil tanker that can cover us, we will pass through the Strait of Malacca. If not, we can only detour from southern Sumatra. Is this plan acceptable? Political Commissar Suchangjan agreed to Captain Marin's plan. If you can hide under a large ship and sneak into the strait, you will be sure to avoid the anti-submarine patrol ship in Singapore. However, it is not easy to identify such a large ship through sonar underwater. It is best to see the name and nationality of the ship from the periscope. Guess its approximate course. Okay, attention engine, forward 3, heading 195. The captain began to order. As the helmsman moved the steering wheel, a newly defined track began to appear on the heading display on the bulkhead of the command cabin. 30 degrees forward, the main ballast tank was flooded, and quickly dived to 150 meters. At the Peshawar Air Force Base in Pakistan, Colonel Sami, as the squadron commander of the 26th Squadron, was recruited by Major General Islam to participate in a secret meeting. Interestingly, Chinese Major Songning actually sat in the conference room. He didn't say hello to Sami, though, still looking angry about what happened last time. The theme of this meeting is how to fight back. The first topic was initiated by the Major General himself, on how to eliminate the increasingly obvious threat of Indian early warning aircraft. Everyone, as far as I know, India has transferred all 3 A-50 early warning aircraft to Uttar Pradesh. The specific airport is still under investigation. These early warning aircraft have posed a great threat to us, the Major General said, but the following several of the commanders were not very active, and no one took this ballast. With our equipment, is there any way to knock out a fight? The Major General continued himself. I think it's very unrealistic, Colonel Sami said bluntly. It's technically impossible. He poured a basin of cold water on the Major General's head. However, the squadron leaders of the other squadrons also nodded desperately, agreeing with the colonel's opinion. There is no precedent in the history of warfare to attack an early warning aircraft. We have ready equipment to attack ground radar stations, but the early warning aircraft is a mobile platform, you know it is always moving, so, it is very unrealistic. We should now what we are worried about is our own early warning aircraft. The search range of India's Falcon system is much larger than our early warning aircraft, so they have the technical capital to attack our early warning aircraft. Sammy took this and said his point of view, which shows that he came before, these things have been thought clearly. The Major General had no choice but to nod his head in agreement. Sammy's opinion was very important to him now. However, the front-line airports in Sindh and Punjab have been destroyed by 55%. What do you think we should do? Be patient, we do not have the strength to confront India in an all-round way, and we can only wait for our allies to bring new equipment. Transfer to us, but it will take time. Now, as long as the Indians continue to cross the border to attack us, we can take advantage of ground radar and aircraft range, and countermeasures will slowly consume them. This week, the Air Force's precision strike capability is mediocre, and I believe the hit rate will drop further as the weapons inventory is depleted. That being said, but the Army is worried that their ground attack will start in the near future. This is probably what they have been attacking. The reason for the dam on the Jhelum River. I think there must be an early warning aircraft near the dam to observe at any time, and at the same time add some mobile ground radar stations. Ordinary attacks can't help the dam, but if they dispatch a squadron of Su-30, they can drop hundreds of tons of bombs at a time. It's hard to tell how it turned out. In fact, I think they're likely to deploy the Su-30 from the Lion Squadron. Well, we have a new FD-2000 air defense system, and I would recommend that the headquarters be deployed nearby, which is in India. The Air Force may be able to attack them in an ambush. The Falcon system can give a good early warning to ground missile radars, even without the help of early warning aircraft. With the technical level of the Su-30 itself of the Lion Squadron, the missiles of several battalions are very good. Not a threat, the colonel said. So what do you suggest? Maybe my squadron can lure the Su-30s into your trap. When the radar is on, they must be out of an area where they can't escape. Simple. Of course it's not easy. The Lion Squadron is notoriously cautious, and it's not easy to lure them into taking the bait. If there is a slight hint of danger, they will throw the bombs into the mountains on the border and flee back home. So. Go on. So, we have to get their radar to see our model, make sure it's a model that doesn't have a medium-range bomb, which is about 35 kilometers away, and then they'll try to fire an R-77 or an R-27. Of course, if I turn around and escape in time, this distance is a little far for them. They will be trapped. It is theoretically possible, if they are lured into the center of the envelope of the surface-to-air missile. Maybe we can get a few fights down. The author is here to say one thing. A few times I wrote that there was a detail error when the MiG-27 flew at low altitude. The aircraft has a Doppler navigation radar at the side and rear of the nose gear, which means that it does not rely solely on the radio altimeter. Low altitude flight. This question has always bothered me, because it is known that the radome of the MiG-27 is empty, with a laser rangefinder and other optical sensors inside, but I wonder why an aircraft that breaks through by low altitude has no navigation radar. Well, so I flipped through the book, and there was indeed. Too lazy to change it and explain it here.